You know, sometimes you think you've got life all figured out, decent job, cozy home, a kid who keeps you on your toes, then someone like Karen Whitaker comes along and tries to burn it all down, literally. I'm Mike Callahan, a master electrician in Maple Grove, a quiet little neighborhood in Ohio where folks used to swap tools and barbecue recipes without a care. But at 3 a.m. one Tuesday, I'm staring at my security footage, watching this HOA tyrant and her shaky-handed sidekick slice through my home's electrical lines, sparks flying like they're auditioning for a disaster flick, all while my 17-year-old daughter, Ellie, sleeps upstairs, oblivious to how close we came to losing everything. Let me set the scene. Maple Grove was our slice of paradise-story homes from the 90s, kids riding bikes, the smell of fresh-cut grass mixing with charcoal smoke on summer nights. My wife, Laura, loved it here, especially her little herb garden out front, where she'd hum old country tunes while digging in the dirt, her wedding ring caked with soil. When cancer took her 2 years ago, it was like someone unplugged the sun. 8 months of hospitals, sterile hallways, and that gut punch moment in a funeral home that smelled like fake flowers and regret. I promised her I'd keep Ellie safe, keep our home hers, keep those herbs growing. Every morning, I'd water them, talk to Laura's memory, feel her in the breeze. Then Karen Whitaker moved in, and our Eden got a snake with a clipboard and a vendetta. Karen wasn't just some busybody HOA president, she was a fallen queen, a former real estate hotshot whose husband got busted for laundering money through shady condo deals. Their $1.2 million mansion got seized, and she landed in Maple Grove, snapping up the biggest house on the block like she owned the whole damn street. Within weeks, she had cameras pointed at everyone's driveways, a notebook full of violations for rules she made up on the spot. You'd hear her heels clicking down the sidewalk like a warning siren, grass too tall, mailbox slightly crooked, kids' toys left out too long. She got herself elected HOA president by sweet-talking old Mr. Jenkins into stepping down, and suddenly, we're living in a neighborhood with more rules than a prison yard. It started small: fines for my work truck parked in my own driveway, claims it was lowering property values. I'm a blue-collar guy, tools worth 20 grand in that truck, can't just leave it on the street. Rules are rules, Mr. Callahan, Karen said, smirking at my work boots like they were a personal insult. Perhaps you should have chosen a more refined career. That jab stung, but I brushed it off until she targeted others. Maria Lopez got a notice for her backyard Virgin de Guadalupe statue. Inappropriate for community aesthetics. Dave Carter's plumbing van, parked for 15 years without issue, suddenly violated some ancient bylaw. Mrs. Chung got a complaint for speaking Mandarin on her porch, disturbing neighborhood harmony. Karen wasn't just a control freak. She was picking off anyone who didn't fit her country club fantasy. Then things got dangerous. That Tuesday, 3:17 a.m., my security cameras, military grade, installed after Laura passed to keep Ellie safe, got Karen directing a nervous guy, Eddie Ruiz, to cut my main electrical feed. Sparks lit up the screen, the smell of burnt wiring still lingering in my garage days later. If Ellie had flicked the wrong switch, she could have been electrocuted. $5,000 in repairs, $10,000 in lost jobs, because clients don't trust an electrician with a fried panel. But the real kicker? Karen shows up at 7 a.m. with a latte and a fake smile, cooing, "Oh, Mike, I heard about your electrical issues. Old houses like these, so risky if you don't know maintenance." I'm standing there, coffee cold, watching this woman play neighbor while plotting to ruin me, and I realize she's not just petty, she's unhinged. What do you do when someone tries to destroy your life? Call the cops? Lawyer up? Or play their game and hit harder? I chose the long game. I spent 3 days fueled by rage and Red Bull, combing through 6 months of footage. What I found was a suburban crime spree: 13 incidents, 9 families, all blue-collar. Maria's herb garden poisoned with salt, Dave's van engine wrecked with sugar syrup, Mrs. Chin's koi pond drained overnight. Eddie wasn't just Karen's handyman. He was her pawn, following detailed instructions only someone with real estate savvy could cook up. Those electrical cuts? Surgical, meant to look like wear and tear failures. My cameras caught it all timestamps, GPS, metadata, the kind of evidence that makes prosecutors drool. I needed allies. Dave Carter, ex-Marine, was in his garage, cursing over his ruined van. Mike, I said, showing him the footage, this wasn't random. His face went from pale to pissed as he watched Eddie pour syrup into his gas tank under Karen's watch. That cost me $1,200 to fix, he growled. My wife thought I was losing it. Next, I looped in Mrs. Chun, who'd lost her late husband's koi, her eyes welling up as she saw her pond sabotaged. She's targeting us, Dave said, his voice low, tactical. Single parents, working folks, anyone who doesn't kiss her ring. We found Eddie's work orders in Karen's trash, legal to grab once it's curbside, her neat handwriting spelling out sabotage like a grocery list. Wednesday, 2 a.m., redirect Callahan's gutters for flood damage. Ensure plausible deniability. Karen's next move was a masterpiece of evil. A storm hit, rain pounding like it was personal, and I woke to Ellie screaming from the basement, 3 inches of water, my tools trashed, Laura's old photo albums ruined, $12,000 in damage. Karen's at my door by 9 a.m., clipboard in hand, chirping, standing water's a health hazard. Mike, that's a $600 fine. I'm staring at watermarks defying gravity, realizing someone redirected my gutters to flood my foundation. Eddie's tool marks on the brackets matched my footage. This wasn't a storm, it was sabotage dressed up as nature. That's when I met Clara Hensley, Mrs. Chin's sister, a retired insurance fraud investigator with a nose for scams. Over coffee in my cluttered kitchen, she studied my evidence, her eyes glinting like a hawk spotting prey. Mike, this isn't just harassment, she said. Karen's building a case for massive insurance payouts, floods, electrical failures, all to tank property values so her real estate buddies can buy low and flip high. Clara dug up Karen's past. Same scam in Florida and Nevada, $500,000 in payouts. Foreclosed homes snapped up cheap. She was planning a Maple Grove finale, condemn half the neighborhood. Cash out. Vanish. We needed a trap. Eddie was the key, but he was terrified, cornered at a gas station, reeking of fear and cheap cologne. She's got my brother's immigration papers, he whispered, eyes darting. Says she'll call IC if I don't obey. Karen wasn't just a bully. She was a predator, exploiting Eddie's family to do her dirty work. Eddie, I said, we're getting those papers back, but you've got to help us nail her. Clara connected us with FBI agent Lisa Torres, who'd been tracking Karen since Florida. We wired Eddie with enough recording gear to make a spy jealous, set to catch Karen's next order. Monday, 9 a.m., Eddie knocks on Karen's door, toolbox hiding FBI tech. Through my garage monitors, I hear her voice, smooth as poison. Marcus, you seem stressed. Are you backing out? Eddie, coached by Lisa, plays it perfect. It's getting hot, Mrs. Whitaker. Callahan's got cameras. Asking questions, what if he goes to the cops? Karen's mask drops. Then we move faster, she snaps. Burn his workshop tonight. Make it look electrical, and if he's inside, well, accidents happen. My blood boils ordering my murder, casual as picking curtains. Lisa's on her radio, upgrading the case to attempted homicide. Then it goes sideways. I'm screaming across the street. Karen, the FBI's got every word. Not my finest moment, but hearing her trash Laura's memory snapped something in me. Karen panics, pulls a gun from her purse, grabs Eddie. Nobody moves, or he's done. She shrieks, her perfect hair unraveling as neighbors gather. Phones out, live streaming. Mrs. Chin's on Facebook. Dave's got tactical cover behind his truck, and Ellie and me fierce. Brilliant. Ellie grabs a megaphone from Dave's garage. Karen Whitaker, she yells, voice steady as steel. You tried to burn our home because we're not your kind of people. My mom built this community with love, and you're tearing it apart for profit. The crowd roars, Karen's gun wavers, and Lisa's team moves in. Karen's final stand waving her gun, screaming about HOA bylaws ends with her face down on her perfect lawn, cuffed, as news choppers circle. 2 years later, Maple Grove's thriving. Karen's serving life for RICO, trafficking, and attempted murder, still whining about prison decor. Her seized assets funded the Laura Callahan Community Center, where Eddie, now a citizen, teaches kids landscaping. Ellie's at Stanford, studying urban justice, her viral speech sparking HOA reform laws in 40 states. I'm engaged to Clara's daughter, Rachel, an engineer who loves Laura's herbs as much as I do. Our wedding's set for Laura's garden, surrounded by neighbors who fought for us. Here's the deal. Bullies like Karen thrive on silence. Document everything. Rally your people. Know your rights. Got an HOA horror story? Drop it below. Your fight might save someone's home. And if this hit you, hit subscribe. We're exposing suburban crooks, one story at a time. Who's right here? Who's wrong? Let's argue it out in the comments.